Hi, Capricorns. So your overall energy was Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. First card is Mountain Road. You are on the road to success. Okay, these two cards came out. Towers, solid foundation, success with effort, and Cat, a two-faced friend. And the last card is older woman, dealings or relationships with an older woman. So let's clarify. I feel like you guys are like at a crossroads, right? There's two paths in front of you, right? With the mountain road, you are on the road to success, right? And I feel like right now you're kind of self-sabotaging, right? I feel like you're trying your best to clear the fog out, like mentally, to see what the path is. But I feel like with the Seven of Wands, it's almost like you're fighting off the change, which that's not really what the Seven of Wands, like the definition is, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. I feel like you're fighting off the change, you're fighting off the decision to choose a different path, because when I clarified the Two of Pentacles, I got the Two of Wands, right? And I feel like you're so used to being in your comfort zone, and I feel like it's very hard for you sometimes to take a risk, right? Like, you don't like anything that ungrounds you, right? But I feel like spirit is making you uncomfortable. Spirit may be triggering you, so that you finally, like, it lights up a fire up your ass, so that you finally start to make those necessary changes. I feel like with the Seven of Cups, Spirit is trying to get you to choose the cups that bring you the peace, that bring you the harmony, that bring you the stability that you want, right? With the Queen of Swords, it's about Spirit is trying to help you to become better at making decisions. That's what it feels like this year, better at choosing different paths. And sometimes people like think like, oh, the path that I need to choose is the one that is more comfortable, more reliable, more practical. But for you and the people that I'm reading, no, you're meant to start taking more risks, right? There's no risks. What do they say? There's no rewards without taking risks, right? And I feel like the success that you want to achieve, the money, the accolades, the love, the fame, whatever it is that you want, it's out there for you, but it's not going to come to you when you're still in your comfort zone. And I feel like you have been on the fence, and I feel like almost fighting with yourself, right? Because I feel like I'm speaking to people where you're so worried about your stability, but it's like you don't realize that you're kind of capping yourself, you're crippling yourself by not taking, like I said, not pushing yourself and choosing something that, like I said, maybe on paper seems a little bit scary, but that is what is going to bring you to this Four of Wands, back into union with your higher self. I think this is also what's happening to you too. With, like I said, Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. I feel like you're shifting internally, and you're going to have that external change, right? And Spirit doesn't want you to do something impulsive by self-sabotaging, by running away from this opportunity that you're in the midst of, which is growing, right? There's an old version of you that needs to die. There's certain necessary changes that need to happen. There's a transformation that's taking place, right? And that's stripping you to the bone, like that's making you more vulnerable, right? And I feel like Spirit is like, you have to keep going. If you want to, you have to keep going down this path, right? And Spirit doesn't want you to self-sabotage that, right? Because ultimately Spirit wants you to level up. Spirit wants you to pass these tests. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're being tested a lot, but it's because Spirit is trying to, like I said, make sure that you're ready for the next phase in life, right? Which involves you reuniting and coming into union with your higher self, you know, coming back into what your inner child has wanted, has deserved, has desired, freeing your inner child, having more fun, having more play, having more venture. You know, there's new beginnings that want to take, that Spirit wants to unfold for you, that wants to give to you, but it's about, like I said, continuously climbing up this road. There's going to be obstacles because this is a mountain, but Spirit doesn't want you to give up so easily when you're on this road. So for the next card, Tower, solid foundation, success with effort, and Cat, a two-faced friend. I feel like be very mindful of who you are allowing into your tower. And what I mean by tower, your foundation, your core stability, right? Because you have some people who are feeling down and out, who are feeling maybe miserable, maybe depressed, and misery loves company. Maybe they have a lack mindset, maybe they have a scarcity mindset, maybe they feel forgotten, abandoned, maybe they feel hopeless, right? And it's like, are you absorbing that information? Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, right? And I feel like spirit is like, it's really important, like with this Wheel of Fortune, because it felt sideways, right? There's positive shifts that can unfold for you, right? Good luck, good fortune coming in for you. But it's all about where your mindset is, right? And it's all about the company that you keep. And even though I don't necessarily think that maybe these people are consciously trying to keep you down and suppress you or keep you back into an old programming, it can happen. It can happen, you know? Maybe some of these people tend to be more in their shadow side, right? And it's really important for you to sometimes separate yourself and realize, how do I feel after hanging out with these individuals? Or how do I feel when I'm in this environment, right? It's about you realizing I need to change my life. And if I want my wishes to come true, if I want to live a happier, healthier life, that I have to make these necessary changes and I have to continue to transform, right? And I have to set boundaries, or I have to cut people off, or have be clear and concise with my words, with the words that I'm speaking out into the universe, because words are spells, right? What are you telling yourself on the daily? What emotions are you still keeping like holding on to? What emotions are you still tethered to, right? Once again, the mountains. There's a lot of things you're gonna have to overcome this year, right? On a Especially emotionally. And spirit is like, it's all for your betterment, because you're creating a solid foundation within yourself so that you can obtain a success that is meant for you, so that you can also sustain that success. It's one thing to get that level of success, but can you keep it? And that's what's happening. You're working on your inner foundation so that you are able to become aware of what it is that you're still holding on to subconsciously, that you can release that. All right. Now, the last card is older woman. I feel like there is an older woman in your life that is looking out for you. For some of you guys, it could be like an ancestor or a spirit guide, because Temperance card came out with the Ace of Cups, which I thought was so beautiful. You have somebody on your side who is trying to help you become this bigger, new, brand new version of yourself, right? And it's not about you forgetting and cutting off the old parts of yourself, no. But not all these things that you've been carrying can come with you as you're becoming this brand new version. It's like, take the wisdoms from the past versions of yourself so that you can apply it to this new current version that you're becoming, right? But you have this beautiful spirit guide that is helping you to transmute these emotions. Call upon your spirit guides, call upon your benevolent ancestors, so that they can bless you with more peace, with more love, with more calmness, so that you can feel at ease. I'm starting to feel a whole lot calm. There's a lot of love for you, right? And I feel like your blessings are going to come in. Your manifestations are going to come in, but it requires you to grow. It requires you to come out of your comfort zone. It requires you to expand. For some of you guys, it may require you to move, because there's a lot of movement in this reading too. There's a lot of movement. Maybe for some of you guys, moving overseas, moving to a different state. But I feel like there is an older woman in the spiritual realm that really does love and care about you, and is trying to help you to become the best version of yourself so that you can have your manifestations come in. So you do have somebody on your side, but it's about you working with your spirit guides, with your higher self, so that you can, like I said, receive your blessing. That was really beautiful. Wow. Oh, okay, Capricorns. If this resonates, thank you for liking the video. Thank you for commenting down below. If you would like to follow me, you can. And if you want to work with me, the link is in my bio. And until next time, bye.